think let's begin with talking about how and where in life did you realize that you were inclined to anything artistic?
I think it was very simple. I mean, I don't have a very, like a fancy story behind it. It was just that, I am a homemaker first. So, when I got married, I was quite interested in, decorating the house, and also my new house was coming up. So decorating my new house. So when you go out, you see, you know art is there, right? That I think everybody knows. So you start seeing the work of different artists which you want to, put in your house, and you see, oh, this is the artist I would like. M.F. Hussain was like the most, that time, yeah, most wanted art. Anybody would want to have an art piece.
We're talking of about a decade and a little
yes, like six years ago maybe. And that's when I started, and then I realized it's not only M.F. Hussain. It is there are so many people and so many new artists and so much good work, and not only in the form of paintings or sculptures. It is also the installations which excited me so much, and nowadays the video art which is doing so good. So I would so like it was like a gradual thing. When I started, it was like a learning thing for me also.
These 6 years, we can say, have been a sort of a graduation in art for you, where you were on the one hand making your home and therefore looking at it. At the same time, you sort of learnt more and more about it. You met more artists. Some nice, interesting experiences about people you met, artists you met.
I have a foundation called Petal Foundation, wherein we support various NGOs across the countries. But I didn't have like a particular cause for it. Any NGO which I could relate to, I was supporting it. But then as I got into art and I learned more about art and artist stories and different artist stories, the artisans, there are so many craftspeople and so many people here in art who they need to be promoted, but they are not getting promoted so well, especially in cities like Ahmedabad and smaller cities. So I thought, for Petal Foundation, it will be a great cause to promote art in the city. And not much was happening in the city then in terms of art. I think Ahmedabad Art Fair is the first, and I think right now also it's the only art fair which happens in the city, and an art event which happens at such a big scale. So, so then I thought of starting something under my foundation and promoting art, and then bringing artists, art galleries, from across across India and also across the world. That's how my journey started, and then I started meeting people, very interesting people, like you said, and so it's been great.
Art is now slowly flourishing. Then the art investment, there was a time when people were not really investing in art. Suddenly now people are a lot into art investment. They are taking interest because they feel that it not only beautifies the walls, but it is also something that is going to at some point of time maybe fetch them.
Yeah, it is an investment. They've understood that, like a piece of jewelry. Now we are taking art also like an investment, which is very good.
What has been your learning, your understanding of art?
So in terms of people, I would say that in Ahmedabad, people had very, very less knowledge about art. There were only few people who belong to that art fraternity. You will see them for every exhibition at every place, and nobody else was involved. Whereas in cities like Delhi, Bombay, you see masses coming for the art events, and that's what struck me, that why not bring something like this in Ahmedabad, and something which involves people into art, not a crowd puller, but something which involves people into art, because people are not seeing art in the way it should be seen. And Art Fair, in that sense, I would say that it is inviting a lot of housewives also. I mean, I see people from 5 years of age to 60 years of age who are coming and getting themselves involved, and now feeling proud of and a lot of people have started picking up things like artwork which they would have not even thought of it, but now realizing that instead of picking up a decorative piece, rather pick something which belongs to an artist, which will also be an investment thing for them for later on. So I think that ways it has been educative for everyone. So, yeah.
So when you pick up art, Khushboo, tell us, when you pick up art, do you only look at the beauty? Do you look at the artist behind the work? Or do you like to look for some meaning in whatever you pick up? How do you pick up art?
Something which, has to touch my heart.
It should move you.
Tell a story. it cannot be something which has no meaning. Otherwise, I would not pick it.
So you like to see a story in whatever you pick up or whatever you like.
And even for that matter, even if it is an abstract, because sometimes we think that abstract is just imagination and something vague, but at times when you actually go deep into it, you see the artwork, you realize that there are in fact 5 different stories which can be, everybody can have their own perception of that. Yeah, and that story should touch me, that art piece should touch me, and I should feel that,
For that matter, even when you converse with the artist who's doing the abstract, I'm sure a lot of students here also would be, in abstract painting. The thing is about wanting to know what the artist also must be having something in mind, when you are doing even aimless brushes, I'm sure there is some reason.
Honestly, I have to like the artist also. So, to pick his artwork and to invest into his artwork, I have to also first like the artist.
True. So now that you've been, you've done 3 editions of Art Fair and you've done quite a lot of shopping for your home and maybe for some friends, who are the 5 best artists according to you? And these could be from the country, these could be from those who are no more, whatever, but who have been your 5 most interesting, exciting artists? And why? And tell us why.
Yeah, so I have not picked their stuff still, and these artists are like on my, I have to still wish list. I have to still, pick up their work, and I would say they would be Subodh Gupta right now, Bharti Khair. So these are like contemporary artists. I don't know how many of you are interested into contemporary art, because mostly we are into Raza, Souza and MF Hussain. But so yeah, Subodh Gupta, Bharti Khair, and Jeff Koon, and I would say I don't know. I mean, right now it's not so yeah. But these 2-3 are like Sudarshan Shetty and yeah. So
And so, are you
Jitesh Kalat, yeah.
right. So we've done. But are you waiting for some specific works, or it's just that you haven't got a chance to see their works?
So I'm talking to them. I'm talking to the galleries. Let's see how it works out. So the piece has to be there for your house. It has to belong to you. You have to feel that it belongs to your house. And also maybe I'm waiting for like that exact piece from them, which has to come. So for my elephant, like I bought elephant from the Elephant Parade from Ellen Talur. Again, yeah, Ellen Talur was in my wish list, and it is fulfilled. I have just got his piece. So I first wanted Subodh Gupta's elephant, but then unluckily or luckily, I would say he did not, make the elephant for the Elephant Parade. And then I got the Ellen Talur, and which now I feel so satisfied buying it. It's such a beautiful piece of artwork that I think now it's the best.
Part with it.
Yeah, it's so humble looking elephant, but so artistic and so beautiful that
Art has that effect, and when you really get involved, yeah, there are certain pieces that sort of just take your soul away, like they say. So Khushboo, how and when was that one defining moment when you thought, conceived and decided to do the Art Fair in Ahmedabad?
So when I visited Delhi Art Fair, when I was, as I told you, I was looking around for artwork for my house, and I visited a lot of biennales. I visited Delhi Art Fair, the India Art Fair, sorry. Yeah, which is like the biggest art fair, and I'm so happy that it is so educative, and I think it is one of the best art fairs I've attended, and it is at par with the international art fairs that are happening. It is so good. And that's when I saw that, and as I told you, I saw masses coming in to see that. It was the place to be at, those 3-4 days when the art fair goes. Delhi is like everybody, the who's who.
Shopping with activities,
yeah, even
lots of
the
people.
college students, the young crowd, the happening crowd, as you say, everybody, the creme la creme, everybody during those 4 days is in the art fair. And, that's when I realized that, oh, nothing like this is happening in Ahmedabad, and, which is so culturally and so artistically rich. If you see, we have such good artists from Baroda. We have master artists, Ghulam Muhammad. And there are so many. I mean, the list is Vrindavan Solanki is there. Then there is there are so good sculpturists in Baroda. That's when I thought Dhruv Mistry, and so like Rimi Dhumal. There are so many that the list is endless. So why not do something in Ahmedabad? But this is my 4th year, and still not, I would say, still not able to get that kind of art which I really want to bring. So I want actually the city's support and the art fraternity's support, which has to take it in that way, because if me only doing it will not help. Everybody has to, get together to make it a successful.
No, but by and large, as we see, the first 3 editions, in a way, there has been a continuity, and at the same time, they have been different, with different people coming in. I think you got Rubal Nagi last time.
Yes.
Yeah, so how do you go about selecting who are the people who will show up and who are the ones who will have a stall or the ones who will be visiting? Is there a criteria?
So every year I try to bring different people, so that the artists, the art galleries, they are also able to meet people from, different cities and from different, like everybody has their own genres, yes, as an artist also. So somebody is a sculpturist, somebody is into installation. So that ways I try to bring different people so that we all can meet them, and it's sort of a gathering which is, beneficial for everyone, even if we are not able to sell the things on, so for me, Art Fair is not like a marketplace where you're able to, where people come with an expectation of selling artwork on the spot. It's not like that. It takes time. You need to talk to people. You need people to, to take their time to like your art, to start understanding your artwork, and that's how it works. So
it's basically about providing an exposure, from what I can figure out, right? An exposure both ways. For artists to know people who may or may not be exposed to art, and for the others to know what all artworks are there. So would you like to share some of the things that you are planning for the coming one?
Yeah, so like this year we have, so every year we are also having, apart from, the galleries coming in, the artists putting up their installation, the stalls they are taking up. As Petal Foundation, we are also, floating competitions, wherein, we like, so they have to, the students, everyone, I mean, it's open for everyone, institutes, foundations, students, colleges, everyone can participate. And we give them different themes to, where they can work on. And obviously the winner gets the prize to, take away. So, so this year we have like installation, we have sculpture, we also have a new addition to it, like a video art. So we have Frida Kahlo's installation, we have the recycling of plastic, which is now like the most in thing, and the, the current demand of, I think the world, I would say. So like a video art on that. And so like that, so this is what we're planning this year. And of course, new galleries, contemporary work, a lot of contemporary. So since past years, we've seen a lot of figurative work, a lot of classic work, I would say. But now we're, we want to bring more edgy work, more contemporary work. Right. So yeah.
Khushboo, also you must be traveling quite extensively, whether in the country or beyond. When you go to different places, are you one of those who likes to go and check out museums and see some art?
Definitely.
You do that?
That's first on my list. My family members, they leave me, and I'm just by myself and just checking out all the museums possible, and the art galleries.
Some of the countries that you really liked, where the art was really throbbing, street art, pop art, whatever.
I think my last year experience of Venice Biennale, that was breathtaking. That was so beautiful that, even my husband, who's not too much into art like I am, was also, I persuaded him, and seeing how beautifully the city was all, so welcoming and inviting and decorated all across for that one art biennale, that even he was, motivated to get inside.
It looks like a birthday
party. Yes. I don't know birthday party, but it is so welcoming.
Yes,
and there are sculptures all across, around the river, the lake, everywhere. The Venice, it's so inviting that, that experience I can never forget. The installations and everything, it was so beautiful that I think.
Any particular bent you have towards whether it is Indian art or Western art, any particular area or country that you really appreciate or approve or like the art of?
Honestly, I have a preference towards Indian artists and Indian art, and I would love to promote them. And I'm still exploring the Western art, like Jeff Koons is one of my favorite. There are a couple of 2-3 more, but I would love to promote the Indian.
But when you say Indian, what, because Indian is also extremely wide, right? The repertoire is really wide. So Which in Indian art? I mean, is it the Ragmala paintings, the miniature art, or are we talking of current abstracts? Are we talking of the Souzas? And what kind of Indian art do you really appreciate?
You know, we all have seen so much of good artwork, the rich artwork, the Souza, the Razas and all that. I'm now more into installations. I think that really brings the creativity out, you know. And even for the art fair, I think last year we had Gandhi's, you know, how the youngsters, the youth in India sees Gandhi, or what is their interpretation of Gandhi. So, and the kind of artwork, the installations that we saw last year is something I still cannot. They were there for the art fair, no? They were there at the art fair. No, we still, of course, yeah. The first winner's artwork will be there at a public place. But we are still thinking where in Ahmedabad we should, you know, put it, which will be a suitable place. So it is still with the artist, but we are going to inform him very soon.
Installations are longer lasting, right? I think painting goes to maybe one room. Whereas installations are something that can be enjoyed by a lot of people.
It's like a public art.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And you see it every day, and
nobody
you know,
owns it.
you
It's for
identify.
everyone to enjoy it and to learn from it. So yeah.
So this entire, you know, I won't say newfound, but this love for art and all that. Do you feel that art is also sort of entering your conversations when it comes to friends, when it comes to family? Do you feel that you find yourself talking to people about it? And
I'm not, I don't know. I mean, that is something people, they have to tell me, that my friends or
no, do you like initiating conversations in art? And if you do, I mean, suppose, see, it's like this, when you meet a friend, sometimes people are talking about shopping, and then there are certain others who are talking about museums. So do you feel that art is soon entering your conversations a lot more than it used to?
Yeah, when people see me, for them, the first thing they want to talk about to me, like a lot of friends, if they are doing their new house, it's to talk to me, you know. So which artist can we buy? What should we do? Can you help us? How can we, you know, can you let us know about new upcoming artists whose artwork would not be very expensive, but still, you know, because we want to, you know, we want to have a lot of artwork in our house, and that's very interesting. Because now
so you are the consultant whom they turn to, and do you yes. So, and on a friendly note, so do you find yourself actually telling them what all they could go for? And
Honestly, I don't
do that. I try avoiding it, because I cannot, you know, recommend one artist or something. It is their choice. They have to love it. I always tell them, come visit the art fair. There are a lot of, there are a lot of artists, whichever work you like, you know, you are free to pick it up or ask me about that. But I cannot recommend one artist or one art gallery or one piece of art. That is something they have to decide, because honestly, I'm not a, you know, somebody who can consult into art. No, not at all.
did you ever, when you were in college, Khushboo, did you ever think that you would get into this area of art and have, whether it's an art fair or whatever? I mean, you've done something, but did you ever think when you were this age that this is where you might probably enter one day?
No, I was always as I told you, I'm a philanthropist first and a homemaker. So all I wanted to do was some good work, you know. And but then when I started Petal Foundation, I had no cause why I was doing it, but I wanted to do something good. I just didn't want to be a homemaker sitting and, you know, having fun or just chit chatting and doing nothing. I wanted to do something for the society. So, you know, because the kind of school that I come from, our education was like that you cannot just be, you know, everything cannot be just about yourself. It has to be for it has to be for the society.
What has been the most interesting and enriching experience that you've had in the last couple of years, especially when it comes to, you know, dabbling in art, or maybe gifting somebody something, somebody close, some artwork, anything? Just tell us a few experiences which I'm sure the others could take back and feel good about.
You know, enriching, I would only say, like, you know, like you get to meet artists who have no standing in terms of, like, nobody know their name, you know, their names are not known to anybody, to meeting artists who are so big, you know, who have such big names like Paresh Mehti or Diya Bhupal, or, you know, that kind of, the gallerist, the big, But the most enriching is when you meet people who are so humble. They are not known. Like last year when we had this Gandhi installation, the Gandhi thing going on, we had an artist who's 70, I think 80 years old or maybe plus, and he was so old. But Anurita, you had to see his work. It was so beautifully done on a khadi fabric, the whole life story of Gandhi ji, and we put it on the,
At the art
yes, it was at the entrance of the,
Yes, I remember.
yeah, and it was so beautiful, and he came thanking me that, you know, nobody understands this, and I'm so thankful that you kept Gandhi as a theme. Now, you know, now when Gandhi is so much done and overdone, now people are just like, you know, into new things. So again, bringing that kind of topic, and then that old person coming in and saying something like that, that is such a beautiful platform, and he was so happy. And when I asked him, you know, would you like to give this artwork to me, and he quoted like a very big amount.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god. So, you know, but it was very good that, but he had that confidence in his work, because he knew that nobody knows my name, but my work is so good, and I still feel
You must have put in that kind of time, energy, and
yes,
thought to it.
oh my god, it was such
then
beautiful,
can you-
yeah, such meticulously it was done, and
And it must
every
have been very
small
original
story,
as well,
exactly. I think, I mean, no, you cannot even compare it to, I mean, I don't think so anybody even a
That's
big
what.
artist could have not have done
So when
and
it is
put in so
original,
much
you have that
effort.
confidence,
Yeah,
right? When
yeah.
something is
So it
original.
was his confidence which was quoting that kind of prize.
Prize.
I was surprised, but I was so happy that, you know, so yeah, I was very happy because he knew his worth. Generally the artisans, the people, the artists, sometimes they don't even know their worth unless they are big names, or unless a big gallery is promoting them.
True.
That kind of experience is very enriching for me.
What is your take on, you know, the Delhi International, Indira Gandhi International Airport and all? You have exhibitions there, because that's one place where a lot of people are coming and going. So if you can't really make it to a city's gallery, at least, you know, that's one place where you're able to see. So what do you feel? Do you feel that a city can portray a lot about it through these kind of places and mediums where you anyways have the crowd coming and going day in and day out? Do you think we should have a little more of such interaction here at our maybe airports and railway
Definitely airports. Actually, in fact, when you ask me where, you
At
know,
least airports.
the artwork,
Say
which,
about the
where are
railway.
you, yeah, where are you planning to? So airport is one target.
Okay.
But, you know, so there are a lot of things which are government wise, officially, it's
you
all
have to go
tied
through a
up,
process.
and it's a big process, and it's all tied up, and people have contracts there who can, you know, display the work and all that. So, but that's one place which I really think that has to be highlighted, because even if you're not going in the city, but if you're entering, most of us, I mean, we've seen airports of different cities, right?
and countries, yes.
Yeah, even if you're just, you know, your meeting is just 10 minutes away from the airport from some place, but you have to go through airport,
go
or
through that
via
place.
some place you're going somewhere, or maybe international if you're taking in through the international airport. So airport is one place which is very prominent with the tourists, with a lot of people coming in, going out. So, you know, that place really needs to be highlighted.
Yeah, so in Ahmedabad airport actually can have that kind of a boost, right? So are you thinking of trying to talk? I think
want to put that one Gandhi thing
no, it would give quite a boost to the city's image and the whole art scenario as well.
Yeah.
What do you feel? You know, there are a lot of artists who feel that their works could be turned into home items, could be cushions, could be bed sheets, dresses. When you go to the, not MoMA, when you go to the Metropolitan Museum in New York, for example, you have separate stalls, right? You have Gustav Klimt, so the entire stall of Gustav Klimt, you have from a pen to a t-shirt to a book cover, a book jacket, everything. Do you feel that we need to have more of that in our country?
Honestly, personally, for me, I really respect art that ways. So for me, I am not very, you know, towards buying accessories. Like I have seen Thota Vaikuntam's work recently. Somewhere he's doing cushions and on the furniture.
Right.
So, you know, for me, I have so much respect for an artist like him that I would not buy a cushion piece of his. I would rather buy a good painting, which is very, for me, it's a piece. I respect the pieces, the artworks that I collect, and a furniture or a cushion work would not be given that kind of due.
But Khushboo, what if somebody is not able to afford the artwork? See, a painting, for example, could cost maybe 2 lakhs. But if the same thing comes,
Definitely, but again, when they are buying it, they should, I would not like to use it as a piece of furniture. So if you're buying a cushion,
Or if you're buying a table, it should not be, you don't have to put a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah, so then
Treat it like an art piece.
Then that becomes a very this thing that you bought it for a purpose, but then you are still collecting it like an art. So for me, it's like that. It's the other way around. I would never use it as a
rather
piece.
collect art for
Yeah,
art's
yeah.
sake
So
and
I have like Rubal Nagi scarves from the first year's collection.
Right.
And so I still have it. It's still there in my this thing. No, I will never use it as an accessory. I would rather frame it or put it in my house.
Yeah, so these are different ideologies, I think, and very individual.
I don't come
So I wanted to know how your thought, yes. And very honestly, there's nothing really right or wrong about it also. It's just that there are
it's not
some...
my personal.
Yeah, so I wanted to know what you feel about it.
So it's beautiful, but not for me. That's not my personal, collection. I would collect. No.
Yeah, no, that's interesting to know because in my conversations with different people, there are always some who try to justify and say that, yeah, why not, if it is being made accessible to us. So it's always interesting to know the opinion of somebody who's really an art lover. What exactly would they do, if they were in that place and situation. I think it was great conversing, Khushboo, and a very good idea we've had about what you planned for Arte Fair and subsequent editions, and how you began the whole journey. And I'm sure a lot of us have enjoyed this conversation with Khushboo. Very frank, very candid, and very lively.
Thank you.
Thank you.